Hello, and welcome back. My name is Jack Blade, and we're playing Satisfactory today. And last time, it's been a long while for me because I've been moving and stuff. So I'm in a new studio, new apartment, new everything, and we built this in the last episode. And during the start of the stream and everything, we made sure that everything was up and running, everything was running smooth, and it is. It runs really smooth. So far, I have seen no instabilities. As far as I can tell, at least. There is the up and down that happens because of the geothermals, but that is a solid, stable thing. And right now we have a production of 107,000 megawatts. We are consuming 18,000 megawatts. If everything was turned on or everything was running, we would have a consumption of 31,600. And we have a power boost from the alien power augmenters that is more than our current consumption. Over 30,000, almost 31,000 at its maximum. So I am really happy with this. It gives us the capacity we need to actually build the entirety of Mournrock. And that means we need to get back there. We need to get back to base and continue building our city up in the rocky desert. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be leaving this. All of this is temporary, and yes, fixedness is going on. So I will also be trying to pick up some of these to make sure that we have presents that we use to like build everything. But yeah, all of these are these are just blueprinted, and they are available and everything, as you know. So we also don't have a lot of time to record stuff for episode 15, because for me it's Thursday and I need to record basically today and tomorrow, and then I need to edit and get everything done on Saturday and get the video out on Sunday. So I'm a bit limited on time, but I will do my best to make sure that I get as much as possible done to show you what my plans are for the oil loop, which is where we're heading over right now. There we go. We're seeing Mournrock coming up right over there. Perfect. And I think I pretty much nailed flying over here. Is it? I need to make sure that I don't die. That's about it. Yep. So we're here. And if we go down here and check where were we here? We had built the heavy oil refineries, right? So that's done. But a lot of the rest we don't really have figured out yet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a little bit about like how does the actual loop look and what is the actual like plan for it. And hopefully you get a little bit of a clearer picture. Like, it's still not going to be a clear picture because it's a very complex loop, and I am a very loopy person when I plan stuff like this. So it's going to look weird, but that's just a fair warning to you guys. It's going to be out in that direction. So let's look at what we're going to put there. All right, so we are in Satisfactory Modeler. And if you haven't been here before, this is a really good tool to build. It's a Steam app. I made a video on it like during this week. So you can go and check that out if you want to learn more about it. If you aren't already using it, you probably should be, or at least try it out. So this is what we've done so far. This is a little bit of an outpost, and if I double click here, this pops up and I can go open and I can look in here, and it says like, hey, this is our oil coming in. We have 60 refineries making heavy oil residue, and then we have that going out here up in the corner, as you can see. And then from here, we need to split this out, right? So the plan is to have some petroleum coke going, like being produced. And I think, yeah, 1,320 petroleum coke is going to be produced. We're gonna have later, we're gonna make some fuel and residual rubber. And what I kind of want to start with is this bit, the residual rubber. Because it's going to be the smallest. If I open this, it's going to be our smallest factory here is going to be 30 refineries. That splits our 1200. It's already split up into 3 belts, so that's very, very simple. And all I need to do is make sure that the water comes in and is distributed safely between all 3 so that they get their 100% efficiency. But this is basically what I'm going to start with. So that's 600 there, 600 there. We got 1200 that splits between 3, so we get our 600 rubber at the end of this. That we then send on to our loop here. And then we're gonna make fuel later as well, and that's going to be a lot more complex, because if we go into one of these, we open here, as you can see, we need to package water. Pretty much package 600 water in 10 packagers, and then it sends the packaged water into this with the heavy oil refinery or heavy oil residue into a refinery to make packaged fuel. That's the residual or a diluted packaged fuel alternate recipe. Makes 600 packaged fuel that goes into an unpackager, where the fuel goes out in a pipe and the empty canister goes back in to be used here in the packagers again. So we get like a loop of that going back and forth and recycle those canisters. And then we just need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those. Where the 7th is a little bit of a like whatever's left situation. And then from there we move out and we have like a bunch of recycle. We have some that splits off, 48 fuel splits off and becomes turbo fuel over here. But then that's just so that I have some packaged turbo fuel. And then we have recycled plastic is being made here, and we have recycled plastic being made over here. The main differences being that once this is done and got to recycled plastic 3, after the recycled rubber 1, it's done. We have all the recycled plastic we want, and then we're gonna make recycled plastic or recycled rubber here, and then we recycle that into plastic, which we then recycle into rubber again. And we kind of split off here, so only 290 goes in here to make 580, which is then turned into ultimately 2070 rubber is going to be our output of rubber. Though that's basically how I've planned that. So this is essentially it for my entire oil processing thing. And yes, it's massive, it is complex, it is weird, and like what people say, yes, it is. There are more efficient ways of doing this. I am just not going to do that. I want to do this. So because this is fun, and it provides all the turbo fuel, it provides all of the petroleum coke. I'm gonna make that into steel, not aluminium. And yeah, I have an entire oil field and several thousands of oil left that I can turn into aluminium if I want to use the petroleum coke recipes for that. But yeah, this is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna start over here with our nice residual rubber, small, little bit of a thing to get us back into the gear of things. So let's head back on over to Satisfactory. So how are we gonna do this? We will make something similar to this. We want to have the islands, right? Oh, more presents. And as we can see, our what's it called? Polymer resin is already sent out and merged into 3 different belts. So that we already have. The big thing that we need to think about is the water. So let's go on over here and look at what that looks like. My estimate for how much water we need might be a little bit off. So let's look at this. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 6 is 4,800. And that might not be enough. We might need like another belt or 2. Or another pipe or 2. I am going to bring that over. Let's see. Horizontal to vertical. I'm gonna bring over another pipe just in case my math is off. Because when I counted this out in the first place, it said, hey, you might need like 4,600 something. But why are you hissing a fit over here? Ah, okay, it's trying to snap to... Okay, that's why. There we go. Now it works. It's having a hissy fit over at the... What's it called? It is being weird about the water in Satisfactory Modeler. So just in case, I brought over more. We kind of want to make sure that we have all the water we need, and let's just belt everything over, right? So what I'm gonna do is what I tend to do when I belt a lot of water is I use one to go like this. Okay, this is as far as I can go, and then I do this to make sure that it's even Steven, so that I have all of my stuff so that they don't just try to snap to each other is what I'm saying here. So, and then I go for the next one. Next over here, let's just make sure that it's straight. We don't have straight mode yet for our pipes. So that's the next one. Next one over. And then I just need to repeat this with the other 9 pipes. Pretty much. And one more. Boop-a-doop. There we go. Now, I will just continue. I will fix this and I will set up the first bit here and then I will bring you back in. So, if you have questions about the Satisfactory Modeler, put them in the comment section. And if you have suggestions for the setup and everything, same thing. And if you want to have more conversations, you can hop on over to the Discord. And we will gladly have you. There's over 400 people there now, and it's still growing. It's insane. So, alright, so we do have our residual rubber set up. There's only one problem. As long as the residual or heavy oil residue isn't actually like being burnt off somewhere, that won't run. Because if we look here, these pipes are full. That means that this won't do anything, and we don't get the polymer resin needed to run this entire thing. And I've spent a little bit building here. I had to build this as a custom thing because the island doesn't really fit a like proper build and everything. So yeah, this is what I've come up with. This is entirely custom. There's no blueprints except for the island itself around here, sadly. But now we actually have all of this up and running, and I've also oversaturated with the amount of water. So each section of 5 needs 200 water, but I'm pumping in 300, so they have a 50% surplus. I just don't want any part here that can run on water to have run the risk of not getting enough. So I'm over producing water. Like we have 30,000 water prepped and ready to go over there. It's gonna be fine. So it's no like we have enough water. I think we do definitely have enough water. Yeah, I think so. It looks like there's enough water here. So we will just make use of that. And with that said, we have our residual rubber, so I can actually change this to the new calculation, which is 30, and say, hey, you are done. And with that done, we are going to be going over to doing the petroleum coke refineries, And if I remember correctly, if I look at our Satisfactory modeler, the petroleum coke actually needs well, I don't want to run it with, I want to run on one line of 400 into it. So let's look at, if I do this, if I say, hey, you can chill a little bit with, I'm just moving around a little bit some numbers here, but yeah, I'm gonna be making the petroleum coke no matter how you look at it, and it's going to be magnificent. And I will be back once we got those up and running. Before we keep on going, I just wanted to show you, I forgot to do this before, but this is a overflow system that works with the polymer resin, so that in case of any part of the system backing up, the polymer resin is not going to be the case of that backup. It's going to get sunk, and we will get some more points for it, some more coupons, but it also means that when it's working, the heavy oil residue will be able to flow freely. And on that note, for that to go, we need to make sure that this works. And here's what I'm going to do, because the calculations call for 440 heavy oil residue for it to work. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put in just this, I'm going to put in and multiply this, so I get 80 heavy oil residue, making it so that this line alone gets 440 out. And the reason for that is that that's how much I need in my petroleum coke setup for it to make as much petroleum coke as I want it to. For the system to be stable, that is. I actually just need like 1,284 petroleum coke, I think, but we're going to be producing 1,320. And that reason is specifically, how should I put this? To create a stable system in terms of the fuel production, I need to do this. So yeah, it's complicated, but trust the process. Like, there's easier ways, there's better ways. Like, if I was smart, I would be dedicating this entire oil field only to be making plastic and rubber, and not be messing with like turbo fuel and petroleum coke and stuff like that. But I want to make things complicated for myself, so I will be doing this. But either way, I will now go and set up 11 refineries and make them function. I now have my refineries. There's only 10 of them. However, what I have done is I summer slooped the last one on the line to get the double output instead of slooping the heavy oil refinery. I slooped over here instead, because that gives the same effect, but I don't have to deal with weird stuff with the liquids and whatever. So ultimately, we have used 400 heavy oil residue here instead of 440, which I don't know how it's going to mess with the rest of the system, but we will figure that out when we get to it. Right now, I'm just sinking all of the petroleum coke to make sure that we don't get it backed up, and I'm also testing to make sure that we actually produce at 100% efficiency. So while that's happening, I'm gonna continue with the water packaging and unpackaging system. The thing is, we're going to need to package and unpackage 3,920 fuel, right? And each packager, if I remember correctly, if we go to unpack, what? Oh, okay, it doesn't actually like that. What? So each packager can package packaged water. So each packager can package 60 water. It can unpackage 120, which is cool because that means that I can use less unpackagers No, wait, I'm not unpackaging water. I'm sending that into refineries. Okay. So I still need to package a bunch of water. 60, right? So if we go here and say 3,920 divided by 60, which means that we need 66 packagers that one of them is downclocked to 33%. So we need to set that up. And I'm gonna start with setting up the islands for it, and then we will see what happens. There we go, we got some islands up, and I have a tentative version of the packagers. So I have put up 60 of them. I need to make another island up here where I put the last 5.33333 recurring. And I don't really know exactly how I'm gonna balance this, but I'm gonna. I have a couple of ideas, but we will see. Because remember, we're doing this as a recyclable system. So it will be using the same canisters over and over and over and over again. So I need to feed them in a loop with the unpackagers, that I don't even know where I'm gonna put yet. I might actually have to go up one floor and like unpackage it on the top floor up here, and then bring it back down again. There's a lot of presents everywhere. And I kind of, yeah. Well, I'll start with putting out the last 5.333 recurring packagers up here, and then I will start looking at the pipes and see what I will do. Like the pipes are gonna be easy because they use even 600, so it's gonna be 1/600 pipe per island. That's the easy part. And making sure that runs stable is easy. Same thing as I did over here. Let's just make sure that I have the pumps that forces the water up. Remember, we had a bit of an issue before with our system over here with the heavy oil refineries, where they didn't like that they're sent up into the machines, which is a problem. Like, I know, but I chose to build like this. I made the problem, and this is how I solved it. So with that said, I gotta get this rolling because it's Sunday for me, so I need to actually finish this section so I can edit and get the episode out to you guys. I will see you guys once I have figured out the balancing issue. We are progressing somewhat. Look, we got our water in. I have put in these to kind of like not have these like just float in the air. I mean, I could, but I definitely like the style of this. Like it adds something extra. I don't really know what, but I think I like it. So I'm gonna keep it. Then I am going to do like this. I'm gonna use these bins as buffers and balancing to make sure that I can get what I need in. I've also set up a temporary, this is gonna get ripped out. I've been going back and forth to the Crater Lake to pick up plastic, and I've been filling all of these with plastic so I can make the empty canisters that I will be then distributing into all of these. And I will start packaging water and everything so that I have like the system completely saturated. But for now, I am going to need to go into the editing room and start getting the episode ready for you guys. I don't have too much time, so I hope you guys like the episode. And if you do, please show that with a like, show that with a subscription. And if you want to go above and beyond, head on over to Patreon. You can support from there, $1 a month or more. And we will also be streaming tonight. I'm not sure I will be streaming Satisfactory. It might be Path of Exiles 2. I'm really liking that game, so I might be doing some stuff there and dying a lot. But either way, if you liked the episode, show that. And if you have any questions, any comments, feedback, anything like that, you can leave that in the comments. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Have a great one, everyone. Bye!